I used to stutter when I was a kid. It's one of the ways that every once in a while it comes back out. So here,
Something
wait,
new I just found
talking
out
about
about you
it,
too.
talking about childhood stuff brings back my little stutter. So yeah,
Hmm.
my boss, when I was 16, he grabbed my butt and the Child Protective Services came out to my house. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it was tough. And the message that I got was like, well, the verbal messages were like, don't cause trouble. But then the like under cue, like it was basically seemed like it was my fault. Like that's how the situation basically I ended up telling the cops that nothing happened or the Child Protective Services. Yeah, and so what I like took into my body from that was like I need to make sure that that never happens to me. And so I put on weight, I started wearing baggy clothes, and I think even more is like heartbreaking to me is that I really learned to like close my energy down because, being open and bubbly and smiley and happy is attractive. And so I kind of went into this more like closed, like preserve, like don't attract attention, don't attract, um, which, yeah, it was, it was a big bummer to like not, and I know, there's a number of women that I work with that there is some kind of like
Yeah.
sexual abuse that is underlying their weight because it's safer to be less attractive. Not safe, but safer. And so I know that's a really real thing in a lot of our culture. And it's a little bit of my history and something I definitely had to work through to, yeah, come back into my body and
Yeah.
feel.
I just really appreciate you sharing that part because I know for a lot of women in general, 1 out of every 3 women is going to experience some form of sexual harassment, sexual assault. And it has a potential to really disconnect us from our bodies, to make it not safe. The feeling of not being safe in your body, this being something that is actually dangerous. And so much of your work, so much of the chapters, like reconnecting you back in to this is my vessel, this is for me, this is a connection that I have with myself versus what so many of us are trained when we're younger to what does the external want from me and how to stay safe in that environment. This makes me think so much, though, of what I've seen you do with your daughter. Because talk about raising her differently. Like, I got the incredible gift of being almost like I feel like I was like a mini godmother at Burning Man. I got to be her godmother for that, and totally different movement through the world, connection to her body. How have you changed that for her?
Yeah. So I think, and I think this is also, for me, it ties into like also how can I prevent something like that happening again? And I can't for sure prevent it, but there are things that I can do around being aware. And so one of the biggest things when I was doing research around like how to help my daughter not be sexually abused was like that as we're like really young kids and we're told like on the playground or with a family member that we have to hug somebody or we have to play with somebody when our body says no, like when it's, I don't want to hug that person or I don't want to play with that person. So from a really young age, I have like really helped her feel secure and confident. Like, yes, it's important to be kind. Like you can say no, thank you, to not be mean about it, but to also honor if her body says, I don't want to play with this person or I don't want to hug this person, that I'm instilling in her that cue in her body to listen so that she honors that no. So that then she's, yeah.
Yeah, and it made
Yeah.
her so safe at the burn. Like, I just watched her. She knew who she wanted to be near. She knew who she did not want to be near. And it was so interesting watching adults want her approval, like wanting her to give them a hug and her being like, no, man, I'm not feeling it. And she would not be shamed into it. It was really, really beautiful. So I love that example of you've just taken so much of, trauma in your past and through makes me think of, when we refine, right? We take that trauma and we find the pieces. You've unlocked the pieces and the growth that you're now like spreading out in both the world through your work and then through the lineage with your daughter. It's like this is the heart of when we talk about human potential. It's how do we take, for many of us, the cards we've been dealt, sometimes the rough hands, and change those so that what we're leaving is a legacy of change rather than repeated trauma being passed on. Ugh, love it.